always remember, stay out of black women's business. And here's the clip.
Hypothetical event.
All right, there we go. Uh, Always remember to stay out of black women's business. I don't know if you want to go again, Precious, or
I was saying that black women need to heal. Like you said, a lot of things do not, a lot of things contribute to the view that black women have on black men. And unfortunately, it's not a good one, like you said. But when you allow those things to overshadow the respect that you should just have for a man, you have to reevaluate how those rose-colored glasses that you have on. You have to then take them off. And I don't think because you had an experience with a black man that was a bad one that you should look at every black man like that. I think that we should respect our black men, because if we don't do it, who gonna do it? And like I was saying before, women get mad at black men for going elsewhere to look for women. But when they try to be in their women's lives and black women's lives, it's like, oh no, you can't talk about us. You can't have an opinion about us. But then when it comes to them, they don't want you to talk about them at all. And it's not right. I just think that, black women need to heal. I think that, once you heal and you truly face what's going on with you, you wouldn't view all men the way that you view some of them.
yeah. Let me go ahead and get Paradise. I know you wanted to respond. You there? Okay, I don't know what's going on. Go ahead, Penny.
Well, I guess I don't really want to be on the argument of who talks about who more. I think both black men talk about black women talk about black men. I've never met a black man, and my first thought of him was negative. It was always positive. It was always hopeful. And any woman that I'm around or I've been surrounded with has experienced the same thing. I think once a man shows you something for you to question him about, then some of that trauma comes back. But I think for the most part, I don't think black women hate black men or, think of them in a negative way until something's experienced first. So, and I just don't like to keep the conversation going about, black women are always on black men. I think it's both. Both people talk about each other. We talk about each other.
All right. Go ahead, Paradise.
Y'all gonna want to fight me when I say this, but I'm gonna say it, and I know how to fight. So, black women do make it a thing where we can say whatever we want about these men, and we shouldn't have any type of correction or direction. And that is very much so a problem. We have an issue with how we talk to our men. We'll call them a bitch. We ain't got no problem with that. We ain't got no problem with emasculation at all. We anytime they disagree with us, we call them sassy. Even when Mr. Lego mentioned like Peter, and they were saying how Peter was always in women's business, et cetera, et cetera. What the hell is women's business? Because the last time I checked, women ain't got no business and we ain't making no money or we ain't under a man. Because women used to do things that were considered women's business. We used to have cake bake-offs, and we used to have pageantries, and we used to, have book clubs. We don't do none of that no more. So what the hell is women's business? At the end of this, he's not lying. Women have a long laundry list of what you consider a real man. But when a woman starts saying she want a man and the man is sitting there giving her any type of correction or direction, she goes, you're not in a position to tell me what to do for X, Y, and Z reason.
Hold on, Sweeney. Let me get to the ladies. Lashia, what are your thoughts, man?
Man, you make me sound so old. No, but on some real stuff, it's funny because I actually agree. I'm not mad at what either Precious or Paradise said, because I had to actually write down what he said so I could just read it for myself so I could get a better understanding. It's pretty much saying black men in the room Black women have a say. Black women in the room, Black men have no say. And how a lot of things contribute to that, right? So I don't think it's always been that dynamic between Black women and Black men. Over time, we've just been broken down to and pit against each other in so many situations that now it's coming to the forefront, and we're more cognizant of what's going on around us and but we know it's happening, that we're being put against each other, but we're allowing it to happen more and more and more. So yeah, I do agree that Black women do always want to have a say in what a Black man does and what he shouldn't do, and that when a Black man says to a woman what she should and shouldn't do, yeah, they get shut down. And a lot of it has to do with over time seeing bad representation of Black men and all this stuff. Now, fatherlessness, I don't have that. I have a father. Mass incarceration, I don't really have a lot of people in my family that were incarcerated. And mental health, I do have some mental health, and so I get that, but that doesn't really frame my sense, my and I'm a boy mom. So I am, with me being a boy mom, now I'm starting to allow myself to understand men more, so that my son can know he can come to me. Even he has his father, but I just want to be that person that he can come to if he needs help with anything. So it is true, but it's just with society and everything, I think that really messed us up, and being put against each other really messed us up. That's all I gotta say about it.
Okay. Fantasy. What are your thoughts about it, ma'am? Always remember to stay out of Black women's business.
I think there are certain things that it makes sense for us to all discuss together, like relationship issues. And then I think there are certain things that doesn't really concern each group, and we should mind our business. So I think it's fair to say that sometimes you should be staying out of each other's business. And then sometimes we should be involved. We should be able to communicate without it seeming like, oh, anytime this man says something I don't like, I'm gonna shut him down. Or anytime this woman says something I don't like, I'm gonna shut her down. Because that makes it to where the conversation is very combative and aggressive for no reason. The communication isn't solid. So I think a lot of times we try to police each other, and we use generalities because we don't want to single anyone out. And then when you do that, they're like, you're painting us all with this broad negative brush. So I think it's better to be direct and not so passive aggressive. Like if some man is doing something that's absolutely off kilter, you should say his name. Like, oh, this, like if they're speaking on a celebrity, if they're doing something off kilter, you can say their name and not say, see, Black men, this is what you all are like. Like just say their name, call it out.